Because it's important not just to share what it is that you're thinking, but you want to actively be able to listen to what another person is saying and try to understand from their perspective how it is that they're feeling. So God really gives us great wisdom. Matthew chapter 18. But I promised you 3 tools, and there is a third tool. And so tool number 3, I call fill the gap. In every conflict situation, there is an expectation that a person has when they go into that encounter. So, for me, in a certain situation, on the one extreme, there is my expectation. What I expect to happen. But in that situation, there is what I actually experience. So let me give you a simple example. Possibly I am helping to lead some kind of event. And I have someone that I have talked to in advance, and they have promised me that they will arrive for the event at a certain time. And when they come, they are going to bring a number of things along to help set up for the event. When the actual time comes, the person arrives but does not have all of the things that the person promised that they would bring along. So say for instance they were supposed to bring certain food items and maybe a few games that people were going to be able to play. So maybe they're bringing the soccer ball and some food, some tortilla chips or something like that. So that was my expectation. I expected that the person was going to arrive and was going to have a soccer ball or football, as you might say in your country, and the person was also going to have some tortilla chips for us to eat afterwards. When the person arrives, neither of these things were brought along. So what has happened is I had an expectation for what a person was going to do. There would be a football, soccer ball, and there would be tortilla chips, snack and game. But what I experienced was that the person did not bring the things the person said he or she would bring. What we have now is a gap. We have a gap between my expectation and my experience. The tool that we have available to us is we have the opportunity to fill this gap, the gap between our expectation and our experience. We fill that gap. We can choose to fill it with something positive, or we can fill it with something negative. Examples of positive things to fill the gap with. Three things. The first is calm. remain calm. It could be that the person has delegated this task to someone else. And you ask them, say, "Oh, hey, I thought you were bringing the ball. I thought you were bringing the chips." The person says, "Oh, yes, my friend will be here in 2 minutes, and that friend promised to bring them from my house." You remained calm. You received an answer. Second is compassionate. The second thing, fill that gap by being compassionate. It could be that the person had something really horrible happen to them. And because of that, it caused their schedule of their day to not work out. And so there could be a really legitimate reason for why they didn't do the task that they promised to do. So fill the gap by being calm, by being compassionate, and finally by being curious. It's okay for you to go to the person and say, "I think we talked about you bringing the ball and the chips," and then waiting for an answer with curiosity while you're remaining calm and compassionate. When you do these things, when you fill the gap between expectation and experience with calm, compassionate curiosity, you give an opportunity for the person to respond with what it is that's happened. You also give them an opportunity to ask forgiveness if they just forgot or they did not honor the promise that they made to you. But what happens to us is we will oftentimes fill the gap with 3 W's. We can fill it with whining, "Oh, I can't believe that they didn't do what I asked them to do." That's whining. Okay, so we fill the gap with whining. A close friend to whining is wallowing. "Why does this always happen to me?" That's kind of wallowing. And then finally, you can fill the gap with what ifs. What if I never ask that person to do anything again? What if I just did everything myself? Those are what ifs. You don't want to fill gaps with what ifs, that gap between experience and expectation. You want to fill it with calm, curious compassion. And that's the third tool that I wanted to provide you today. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this webinar, this seminar that I provided for you. I know I don't always look at the camera. I apologize for that. But I hope you appreciated this. I hope you take some time to look up the passages of Scripture that I listed and really think about how you can use conflict to help your team grow stronger, grow deeper in the relationship with God and with each other. And I hope and pray that you will be blessed through this material. This is Dave Coryell, General Secretary of World Christian Endeavor. We're seeing God change lives around the world through the Christian Endeavor model. Reach out to us, www.ceworks.faith, to get simple materials on how your church can begin using this process to unleash young people for Christ in the church. We can unleash people together, and I look forward to serving you as you continue in ministry.